welcome to Lena World. Today I want to share with you some very powerful techniques of how to calm our bodies and our minds, and how to switch our brain from the sympathetic mode to parasympathetic mode. Our nervous system goes from an active mode into a more passive mode, full of relaxation, calmness. And given the world we live in today, I think this is very, very important. There's so much fear all around us. The minute you step into the street, you cannot but feel it. Or maybe something you're going through in life yourself, and you cannot fall asleep, or you have other manifestations of these fears and uneasiness, restlessness. I'm going to show you three very, very powerful techniques that come from Shavasana Tantra, and they are part of the Dirga Shvasa Pranayamas. And the first one is called Mula Pranayama. What it entails is, all three of them actually entail deep inhalations and deep exhalations. All inhalations are going to happen through the nose, slowly, steadily inhaling. And when we inhale, our belly like a balloon expands, okay? Very important. Some people breathe incorrectly. When they inhale, the belly goes in. That's incorrect. When you inhale, the belly has to go out, okay? And exhalation, that's where all three of these techniques differ, but they're all part of Dirga Shvasa Pranayamas, which means deep inhalations and deep exhalations. And natural, we're going to give a good rest to our heart, which is working so hard, pumping the blood, and natural, our arteries, veins are also going to have some good rest. And of course, our minds, they can be our biggest friends or biggest enemies, as we all know. So let's start the first one, Mula. Okay, so deep inhalation, as I said, we're going to inhale through the nose, belly expanding, and when we exhale, we're going to make round lips and exhale through the lips without any sound. How strong you have to blow the air? I said in the text, in the Shavasana Tantra, 12 angulars. It means 12 fingers from your mouth. So the best way to test it, you take your elbow, forearm, and when you blow the air, when exhale, you can feel slight touch on your forearm, just for testing purposes. So I'm going to show to you one round, okay? And everybody is different, right? For yogis, maybe one round is 1 minute or even longer. For somebody who's never practiced any breathing, or to be more precise, pranayam, 1 minute will have many rounds, but it's okay. It's not a game. See where you are and start at this point, okay? So deep inhalation through the nose. And when exhaling, we can make the lips round. You can put your forearm here and blow the air slowly without any sound. Normally, you don't need to keep your arm here, but for the first time, you want to test how strong. You should feel the touch, but not too forceful on the skin of your forearm. Okay, so I'll just do one round without the talking now. Okay, deep inhalation. So that was one round, and you can continue doing that for at least 5 minutes. I mean, if you're a yogi type, one cycle, one round per 1 minute, so it'll be 5 times. Or you can count yourself, do 10 times this pranayam as well as other pranayams. So just find your own timing, and I would recommend you do at least 5 minutes. Normally what I do, I have an hourglass sandwich and it just says 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I choose whatever I want to choose, or I count the times because I've been doing it for quite some time now. So I know how many times I breathe in 1 minute, this particular Dirga Shvasa Pranayam, okay? So now we're going to do the second pranayam, part of the Dirga Shvasa. The first was Mula. The second is called Pranav, Udgit, or Amkara, sometimes it's called. Again, terms, names are not so relevant. For me, everything else must be hands-on. You have to do it and experience it on yourself. It's not an intellectual, philosophical entertainment, or I'm not a pundit giving you some scriptural terms here. I want you to experience here and now the difference. Your brain going, your mind going from sympathetic mode to parasympathetic mode, and you set the tone for the day, or you calm yourself down as soon as you get annoyed or fearful or whatever emotion is overpowering you, negative one, I mean. Okay, something you don't necessarily enjoy being in that particular emotion. So again, for second pranayam, inhalation is the same through the nose and goes, the belly expands like a balloon. And exhaling, we say the sound A, U, M, A. Okay, listen to me. And here, anybody who studies Sanskrit, you'll know that A, U, M represent the Om, okay? So normally it's pronounced as Om, but here for the purposes of this pranayam, we actually go back to these original sounds and we emphasize and go through each one of them. It's like imagining you're just exhaling the air and just your lips change, okay? And they produce a different sound. So, you understand? I mean, it's very difficult to get it in the beginning, but there is a lot of depth and knowledge behind these three sounds. I'm not gonna, it's outside the scope of this recording for you, but basically they're an akshara. It's a beginningless, endless sort of sound, and it's without birth and death, and that's how our whole creation in this universe has started. It is said from this one sound, Om, okay? And A represents something, U represents something else, something else, and there's a lot of deep science behind it. If you want to read, you can more about it, you can find a source in Mandukya Upanishad, on many other sources there too, and read more about it. But I'm just telling you, they work because we're a microsystem or a macro system out there, and they work directly on our entire body, both physical body, mental body, emotional body. And trust me, you don't have to wait for results tomorrow. You can feel them right here, right now. And how long should you say the sound A, U, M, A? Normally you divide them evenly, you know, maybe in the beginning they'll be very uneven, but eventually have to go and like split those timings on each sound evenly, okay? Because each one of them vibrates and does a certain, let's say, act or benefits the body in a certain way. And when you say the sound A, you can concentrate on the throat because you can feel it. It's from the throat. U sound already engages both throat and the nose. M sound will be the nose bridge, or already the Agya chakra, the third eye chakra. And the last will be a little bit different from the first A. And but again, it's like kind of ending with that silent and you don't have to sing it, chant it out loud. It's more about the internal sound. It's for you. You have to hear it, not necessarily the person sitting next to you. I'm going to do a little louder that you can hear me, but normally just do it like silently, not silently, but with a very silent sound that you can actually hear, and your whole body is vibrating. We're cleansing arteries and veins in this pranayam technique. Now they've been like probably like this, clustered together, and now we're shaking them. There are these balloons in the arteries, veins that go when we inhale the air. These balloons, they expand, okay? And when we exhale, they go down. But for a healthy person, about 5,000 out of 7,000 balloons are active. For a yogi, 7,000 of these balloons are active. If you're sick, asthma, maybe 4,000 balloons are active. But through these pranayam techniques, we can activate a lot of these balloons. And that keeps us, not just the physical body, but our mental body also strong, because as you know, there is a direct correlation between your breath and your mind. Okay, so let's do one round. Inhale, the same as in the first one. Slow, deep inhalation. I already feel much calmer just after one round. I can't even talk now. Amazing. That's how immediate effect there is. It's amazing. You have to try it for yourself. And as I said, you just chant it for yourself, that you can hear it, this internal sound, not loud that your neighbor can hear or somebody sitting next to you in the next room. Just your own inner vibrations. You'll feel every like cell is shaking, subtly shaking. If you're sensitive, you'll feel the shaking is very powerful, but a lot of cleansing is happening. Okay, and the last, third pranayam technique is called Brainery. Those who practice yoga, go to yoga classes, maybe you've done it. It's a bumblebee sound. We're not going to close our ears and eyes, none of that. The same deep inhalation like in the first two pranayams, and how we're going to exhale is we're going to close our mouth and concentrate on the third eye, but in the beginning maybe you'll just feel the nose bridge if you haven't practiced this before, and we're going to just do the sound okay, with exhalation. So let's try one time. Very powerful, very powerful. It's even more subtly vibrating. What the Akshara, the Udgit Pranayam could not do, that was taken care of by Brahmari Pranayam. It goes even deeper to subtler levels, but only when you practice you can hear it, you can feel it. Now it's for you, it's just intellectual. But once you practice it, and if it becomes your regular routine, 5 minutes a day for each pranayam, 15 minutes total, I'm guarantee you'll feel a huge difference. And as I said again, they're very powerful, very useful, and from my own experience, I've been practicing for a very long time, and they've been imparted to me from a yogi who's practiced in the Himalayas for 45 years. And there are many more he's taught me, but they're definitely out of scope, out of the video scope. They have to be taught in person, and I'm not also a big believer of these things online, because we're dealing with very high energies here, okay, high energy voltage, and it would be dangerous for me to teach you certain pranayams. But these three, they're very basic, yet very, very powerful. And as it is said, our life is not measured by years, but by our breaths. So when we're born, we're given a certain number of breaths, and it's up to us how quickly we're going to use up that stock of breaths we've been given. And by the way, the animals who breathe slowest, it's been proven by scientists, some of them just breathe once every 10 minutes, once every 20 minutes, and they live longest. Okay, so again, with these pranayam techniques, we want to give a rest to our heart. And in turn, our arteries, veins are also getting good rest. Our body is resting and our mind is resting, and nervous system switches from sympathetic, from an active mode to parasympathetic, relaxing mode. And all our negative emotions kind of lose their grip, and we can handle the situations in a much calmer way. But that doesn't mean you practice like whenever. If you really want to get hold of your own life, I would recommend you introduce at least one, if you cannot do all three of them, into your daily routine. And like you make appointments with other people, I recommend you make appointment with yourself. So welcome to this healthy world of 3 beautiful techniques to keep you grounded, calm, at peace, centered, and healthy. Welcome to Lena World. So again, let's recap. Our first pranayam was Mula Pranayam, deep slow inhalation through the nose, belly expanding, and lips round, and we exhale through the mouth, right? Again, slowly, slow inhalation through the nose, slow exhalation through the mouth, round lips. Second, Udgit Prana Pranayama, slow inhalation through the nose, the same into the belly, exhalation. While exhaling, we're making a sound ah, u, mu, ah. I'm just showing you for your purposes, for showing here. Normally, it's different. You close your eyes, you do it properly. And the third one is called Brainery, like a bumblebee, or that makes a sound like when you hear a bumblebee. So again, inhalation is the same through the nose, belly expanding, and when we exhale, we concentrate on the third eye. But some people have not practiced, they'll just feel the top of the nose ridge, and we exhale with our nose, it's not nose, but mouth closed. But don't force this air out. If you force it, you'll be out of breath. Very quickly, you'll need to take breaths in between. So you have to make sure it's a natural exhalation, okay? So inhale. And it's important that, I'm already feeling totally, like I wouldn't say spaced out, but in a completely different mode. I feel like my guna started to even change. As I said, the effect is immediate, and I'm very, very big believer everything must be hands-on right now. I have to feel that effect. What to read in the books, you can read 1,000 books, but it will make no difference to you until and unless you practice. And those who cannot sit on the floor, find a chair, keep your spine straight. If you want to lean back, it's okay, but don't slouch, and do these pranayams. It will work the same way. Those who can sit, just make sure maybe you need a cushion, put a cushion underneath. And if you need something underneath your knees, do that. Spine straight, and do these 3 pranayams. And to be honest, a year back when I had contracted the very famous bug, and towards the end, it wasn't very bad on my system, but after it was over, I started feeling some breathing issues, to be honest. And I've heard that some people, for some, it affects different people in a different way. And what really helped me put back into balance and on track, back to be centered with my breathing and finding my normal space, was these particular 3 pranayams that I did. Slow inhalations, slow exhalations, expanding my lung capacity, clearing everything, vibrating, shaking all these arteries, veins, and making sure they're healthy and strong. It seems so simple what I've just shown you, but trust me, they're extremely powerful, and quite a few people have been grateful to me too that I've shared these pranayams with them, because it helped them immensely as well. And in today's age where we live, I'm telling you, not just emotional, but if you're going through this bug or some other bug, as a preventive, you can do these, and they will help when things go wrong, when things go south, or when things already go south. Then do these. Very simple. Or maybe even if you're not sick, you can lie down and try to do this. That will also be of great benefit to you. Welcome to Lena World.